Good evening, everybody. I'm Rex from Millennium Workshop, and we want to welcome you to our Toy Talk tonight, our Undisputed. We'll see if we can get everybody pissed off. So our first man up on the line is the man that is the king of horror, some may say. He collects everything that goes bump in the night, but he has admitted he is scared of one thing and one thing only, and that's E.T. Yes, E.T. from the show, the movie. EC collects.
That was great. That was real good.
Love it.
Our next man, right below me, this man has inspired a lot of people to become toy hunters and collectors. He may multiply everything by 3. The man collects.
You're here.
I got my 10-inch monster ready. Let's get this going.
Let's go.
The next man on the list is a wild cowboy when it comes to toy hunting. He also shows up to his own show, Sack Lunch, without his lunch. Yukon Phil.
Yeah.
That intro got me pumped. Y'all are in some trouble. I'm psyched now. Let's do this.
And then coming from the west side of California, the man who has never been to the great Midwest, T3 collects. All right, and next man on the list, this man has proven not everything is big that comes from Texas, but he has proven he has a big heart and he's full of shit. Mr. John Joker.
Yes, I sense.
You left them
I
speechless.
sense Kenobi, but I also sense somebody wants 10 inches. 10 inches. Kenobi.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Somehow,
No.
Maul returned.
Was that your technical difficulty?
He's
No.
putting the eyeliner on.
I was
real
actually
quick.
having technical difficulty.
You had to call the wife in. Hey, get this eyeliner out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
last but not
There you
least, the man that's been everywhere, one of the biggest Star Wars collectors I've seen when it comes to toys, the General Kenobi from General Kenobi's bunker. Welcome.
Hello there. How's everybody doing tonight? And I think we're off to a pretty good start.
Kenobi.
Did you hear how sexy that was? Well, hello everyone. Like it's just
I know.
talk. it's
So
just
what? Mine's
talking
not
dirty.
sexy? Not calling him Kenobi's not sexy? Kenobi.
They got me going.
They brought their after dark voices.
I know.
That's how we do it in
OnlyFans is
Texas.
starting up for JJ down there.
All right.
All right, so let's get to the first question, everybody. This is a big one. So companies continue to release new old stock. We've seen it. We've all been a party associated to it. Does this hurt collectors and the value that they've built in their collection, or is this a great opportunity for new collectors to become collectors?
Both. So it hurts current collectors if you are interested in resale. The reason being is that if you see 3 or 4 G.I. Joes $5.99 at Ross, the way that people that want to buy what you might be selling, every figure is $5.99 at Ross, not just a couple. So that hurts collectors right there. But for somebody new coming in that wants to start a collection for cheap, it's fantastic. Somebody that wants to buy stuff at discount, it's fantastic. So it's a little bit of both. I think there's more positive than negative. Obviously, we see the problems with distribution and where it's at. I mean, we're finding things that just came out a couple months ago at Ross, at Ollie's, and that sort of thing. So that makes it a little scary to see what the future holds for some of these companies. Are they going to make it? I think the real question is it Hasbro? Is it McFarlane? Is it Mattel? Or is it Target, Walmart, and all these other distributors? I think that's what the big question is. But I think it's a little bit of both, honestly, Rex, to answer your question.
I think it depends. I kind of think it depends on what you're collecting, though, too, because I think about stuff that I have, and usually like they re-release something, they'll usually do something a little different on it or whatnot. I mean, I'm thinking about my quarter scale turtles, and they keep re-releasing those. and they're the same exact thing. So yeah, but if you look online, people are still going to try to get what they get for them. But what I was going to say is like they usually try to update something or something on the your figure or whatever. So the ones that came out before usually still hold their value, at least the stuff that I collect. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a little bit of both. Like, and it also, like you were saying, it gets new people into the line or whatever. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would say I'm gonna say with these two dickheads said already. They already said yes and no, and I did say dickhead. Yeah, I will be the hero tonight. No, it kind of goes to the. I don't know, like look at it this way. Walgreens, which we'll get into that later. Walgreens released a exclusive Moon Knight, and that Moon Knight was worth a lot of money because it was hard to get. And then Target came out with this same goddamn figure, and that value of that one just is going to drop now because that one just came out. So it's a little bit of both. It's going to be good and bad.
Yeah, I think it. I don't know. It's if you're collecting, with the mentality that all of my toys are gonna go up in value, I hate to break it to you, that's probably not gonna happen. Okay, not with every single figure, at least. Might happen with one or two here. So honestly, if that's what you're collecting, you better rethink your strategy. But for those of us that missed out on some of those releases and things like that, it's great to have the option to fill some of the blanks in your collection. However, I will say this, in my experience at least, there's always going to be the purist. There's always going to be the ones that know, I don't care that the figure looks like crap, the first version. I want that one because that one was first. That's the one with the original packaging. That's the one that's labeled 2010, etc., etc., right? So yes, when they re-release some of these figures, the originals do go down in price, but they never come all the way down. Okay, they always retain some value. They might lose 50% of their aftermarket value, but 50% of $200, still $100, right? So they're still not all the way down to 15, $20, whatever they were originally. So like I said, just keep that in mind. If you're going at it from I'm gonna hold this and it's gonna quadruple in price in like 2 years, honestly, more oftentimes than not, it's going to be a miss. Like a lot of the stuff coming out, especially today in the last 2-3 years, there's so many of them, and everybody here talked about it too. You're probably going to end up finding them at Ollie's, Ross, all that stuff. So I'm just saying, beware if that's where you're coming from, if that's what your strategy is. Maybe you have a good system. I've never been able to, accurately predict which figure is going to become rare and it's going to shoot up in price, 10 times. If anybody out there can do it, my head's off to you. But like I said, I think that most of us, at least, that's not what we're doing it, right? We do it because we like the figure, the character, etc. So in that sense, I think it actually helps more than it hurts. So
Yeah, I could care less about the prices. I'm not collecting it for. I mean, yeah, everybody wants your collection to be worth millions of dollars, but I'm really not collecting it for that. Honestly, I'm happy when they release a figure that I have because half the time I want a new one of it anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't buy any of this stuff with the idea of reselling it. Like I said, my kids are going to inherit all this crap when I'm no longer here. So they might be a little bit pissed, when they find out it's not worth as much. But I think it benefits the collectors, and it probably, like I said, it hurts the resellers. One example, Target, I don't know if they found cases of them, if it was a re-release from McFarlane or what, but the Justice League Superman, the red and blue one, that thing was stupid. Price is secondary. All of a sudden, they find them. They're back on the website. And I know a lot of collectors that wanted that. They didn't want to pay $90 for it, so help them out. So, and the discount stores, it's nice right now, but I don't think that comment. I was trying to get a freaking response to this, and Real Batman put that comment. I started laughing. It kind of got me off my game here. But like I said, I think the current stuff you're seeing these discount stores is not going to last. I mean, you're seeing poor distribution right now. I think is what's flooding those from the last couple of years. But like I said, long story short, I think it benefits the collectors more than it benefits anyone else. And I'm not a reseller, so I don't care if it hurts them any, as long as I get my stuff.
Yeah, like I said, even if you are a reseller, like they, the older figures or the initial release, they're gonna hold some value. Now, it is gonna come down, when there is a re-release. We've all seen it. But again, there's still always gonna be, some people that are willing to pay extra, right, for that first release, for that, OG figure, etc. So, it's just about, I guess, how greedy you actually want to be, right? It's like, oh, uh, that's what they might say. Whoa, hey Phil, how you
What's
doing?
up, guys?
Hey,
What the hell? I mean,
all right. So it's all about you, Phil, tonight.
Oh, no,
Surprise,
let's
man.
do it,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on with you, brother.
it's not much. How you guys doing?
You grew 10 inches.
I
Wow.
know.
Oh, I got more than that. I'm like
It's halfway there.
Yeah.
jealous.
Yeah,
You
like-
are.
Personally, guys, like
20 divided by 4.
when it comes to that, like, do
So
you guys get excited for that? Like when a new old figure comes back out, like, are you excited to snatch that? Or are you like, is there something in the back of your head every once in a while going, oh man, I wish that one had came out. I knew that one was like $100 figure.
it depends on the figure. Like your Hot Toys, the older ones, now that they're re-releasing, some of them are coming out better, especially like the Iron Mans. So I can see it in that way. But other than that, like I know that a lot of us say that we're not in it for the value of the figures, but it's like the Man Collect says, that's all gonna get inherent to our kids. So in a way, we kind of want it to have value for them to have some kind of money later on if they decide not to sell it. The only thing I just don't want to see is, which I don't think it'll ever happen, but you never know by the way things are. I just don't want them to re-release stuff all the time, and then we see a whole like good example back in the 90s with the comic books that they released so many amount of first printings that the industry almost collapsed. Which I know that the comic industry is different from figures, but you never know, and a lot of people do like value. And if that ends up going, a lot of the people might just say, no, I'm not buying anymore. I know that they're trying to do re-releases for people that had never got it, but I'm one of those types. I'd rather have the OG. So that's my opinion on that.
I don't think the OGs will ever lose that value. I mean, they might come down when when the second one releases for a little bit, but once that one's done and over with, that the original one's gonna go back up.
Yeah.
And by the time our kids inherit this stuff, there's gonna be value to it anyways. I don't know. I think the only people it should affect are the people that are like buying shit from scalpers, and they're like, oh, should I spend $300 too much on this, and now I can get a new one for $100. I just don't think on the original release, I don't think the value is ever really going to go away. It might drop a little bit, like you were saying, like it's going to drop a little bit at that point, but once that one sells out, it's always going to be a higher price. It's always going to hold more value than the re-releases. Just like shoes, anything.
I think really
Nerd affiliated with the super chat for $1.99. Thank you, Mr. Nerd affiliated.
You the man. You the man.
We're going to divide that 7 ways, right?
Go ahead, Phil.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think re-releases are good. I know I've gotten some photos of like them re-releasing the NECA animated TMNT. I missed out on those the first time, kind of got back into them. Now, they're making them an ultimate kind of version, and that's good. They're going to be $33, $39 a piece, but that's better than going to the secondary market where those 2 packs are like, 100, 200, whatever it is. So I think in that aspect, the re-releases are good. And I think the only reason I say with the resale is because it does piss you off a little bit when you get out of a line. Okay, so you get out of G.I. Joe, you get out of Star Wars, whatever it is. You paid $25 a figure, and then you got some jackass from a comic shop offering you $3 a figure. It's like you kind of want to try to get more for something you know is worth more, and they're basing that off of, you know, like I said before, they're basing that off they saw a few figures at Ollie's or they saw a few figures at Ross, and it's like, okay, that's not every figure. You're basing an entire line off of a few discounts that you saw if you can find them, you know. So I think that's where I have a problem with the resale. I don't want to make money off this stuff. I mean, it's like nobody said, if you think you're going to make money doing this by reselling, you really need to check your life, because you have financial mental problems, because you're never going to get what you put into this collection. So that's the only reason I get a little upset, is the resale value should at least be, you know, 30-40%, not $3 for a $25 figure. So
I know, like personally, like I was really wanting a Chopper Black Series, and everywhere I saw it was always $100 or more. And I almost pulled the trigger at our latest like toy show here in Xenia, and with them Ahsoka coming out and them re-releasing it, I was jacked, because I was like, oh, I can get them for, you know, $26, and so I jumped all over that. So personally, like I'm loving the re-releasing of old stock, because, you know, I'm slowly getting into actually collecting the toys, so I think it's a win for me, a big time.
Well, and like you were saying with the turtles, for instance, I mean, just because that's what I collect mostly. Like when they re-release them, they're usually updated paint apps on them, and if they got new articulation, they'll put, you know, like I love that, because then I can get an updated version of the thing I like most. And, you know, like I don't buy every re-release; it's only stuff I like. So I think the positives outweigh the negatives by far.
We can just get your old figures repainted.
Yeah, I could pay someone to do that, or I could. It's probably cheaper just to buy a new one.
All right, was plugging himself to repaint figures for you guys.
I don't know if anybody here is trying to get business from us, but
got you, bro. I got you. All right, so I was moving to the next question. So, because you guys have been talking about like bargain bins, you know, is waiting for a figure to go in clearance or go on a bargain bin, into a bargain bin, a good method for collectors?
I mean, I don't know. Like, for instance, let's just say like the Crimson Guard from G.I. Joe Classified. There's not a lot of people that I know of that never found that or has seen one. So to see them at an Ollie's, which I don't have, so I need to visit the Midwest apparently, for $5.99 or $4.99. I don't even know how much they were. $4.99, $5.99. That's pretty. $99. Yeah, so that's pretty unheard of to see something so sought after to be so cheap. So I don't know.
I think that's what's hard, because if you don't know what's coming out at a bargain deal, I mean, who would have thought the Crimson Guards would have been a bargain deal, or Dusty, or all these other figures? So I don't know. That's kind of hard to say, you know, if a collector should go that route, especially if you want something that you never know if it's going to go on bargain or not.
I say no, absolutely not. If this is a line that you like and you want to see around and you support, you should support it, because like right now you're hearing everybody, oh, I'm waiting for clearance. Well, all you guys waiting for clearance, not you guys, but everybody waiting for clearance. Eventually they're going to be like, well, it doesn't pay us to even have these figures, so why are we going to continue making them? So I think eventually that's going to hurt. It's eventually going to hurt you. You're not going to be able to get figures that you want, because everybody's like, oh, I'm just going to wait for clearance. Well, companies aren't going to keep making them if people are just going to wait for clearance.
Yep, I agree. I think, I mean, everybody loves a deal, right? So, of course, you know, it's exciting to find a figure that you were looking for, or, you know, that you didn't even see, right, for a discounted price. That's awesome for everybody. But if that is your main strategy, right, like Colin was saying, if that's, you know, you're not buying anything at retail, you are eventually hurting that line, okay? Like, it's a business, right? Bottom line. So what Lightning Collection is going through right now, right? They're probably going to go on hiatus for, what is it, like 2 years? I forget what the last thing they said. Like, they're going to put it on ice for X number of time, right? Because it's just not selling. So if you eventually don't want that to happen to a line that's near and dear to you, I'm not saying you never buy anything on clearance, no, but pick up a few figures here and there full price, right? Like especially the ones that you enjoy the most. um Make it a point, if like Rex was saying, hey, chopper, I've been wanting a chopper for a long time, right? Well, hey, go ahead and pick it up for full price, right? Why? Because it's a lot more expensive on the aftermarket, and you know that even though this is a re-release, more than likely it's still gonna sell out. So don't wait too much on all figures. And like I said, at least in my case for Star Wars, yeah, I mean, you can find some decent prices, very good prices at Ollie's or Ross, but it's still kind of stuff that you don't really want anyway. Like like figures like Saw Gerrera, good figure, nothing wrong with it, but it's just not a very popular character, right? So you have a bunch of Rays. For some reason, somebody found a gigantic crate of like Last Jedi figures, and they've been popping up at Ollie's.
We'll
And
never
I'm like,
understand that.
yeah,
Where
I'm
would they
like,
have found that at?
I'm like, yeah, I was like, guys, it was buried, in a ditch for a reason. Like, you did not have to unearth it. Like that's not, that's not the right move. Like they were dropped there, 5 years ago for a reason. So let them be. Um, so anyway, I totally agree with Colin. Like I said, clearance is awesome if you can find a figure that you like. Maybe maybe pick up a second one, right? And maybe try to customize it or something like that. But if it's again, if it's a piece or a figure that you really like, try to pick it up. Full price. Again, I'm not saying every single time, but do make it a point to sort of balance it out, because at the end of the day, if they don't see enough sales, enough money going in, there are gonna be less and less releases. They're gonna put the line, on pause for a year or so, and then we're just not gonna have our fix. And I don't know about you guys, but I need my plastic crack. So
All right,
I was gonna
I gotta be kind of the jerk on this one. So I get what you guys are saying. I agree with it. Like, I think it's foolish to sit there and say, I'm going to wait for all these figures to go to Ross or Ollie's, right? You don't know what's going to happen there, obviously, with Crimson Cards. But I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting, say, with like Amazon or, any of the other online retailers. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Black Series go on pre-order, you get them, and then 2-3 weeks later, they're down $5.
Yep.
I am a big believer in I've actually canceled all my pre-orders, because I've seen it too many times where 3-4 weeks later, the same damn figure that I pre-ordered is now $20 or $17 instead of $25. So for me, I'm sitting there and I'm actually scouring out deals. I'm not, I think it kind of needs to be sent as a message to these companies where they continue to raise prices. I don't think the clearance is all a bad thing, because hopefully one day they get it through their heads and it's like, well, we need to maybe bring this down. I don't think that's going to happen, but there's nothing wrong with maybe trying to scour out a deal. And everything in life is, something is worth as much as someone is willing to pay for it, right? For me, I'm not willing to pay $25 for any Black Series figure anymore, because I don't think they're worth $25. So I'm going to be scouring out a deal and waiting and showing a little more patience with that sort of thing. So that's my take.
Well, do you guys think that I'm sorry, T. I was just gonna say real quick, but these bargain deals that we're seeing with all these figures right now, are we seeing these new ones go down on clearance because of this whole chain supply now? You know how we were not seeing figures and now we're starting to see a whole boat of them, and since they're coming out late, that's the only reason why we're seeing them on clearance. And then eventually everything's gonna go back to kind of the norm, where we're not gonna see a lot of these in clearance.
I'm gonna say yeah, because most of you guys have hit Ross up for the most part, and for me, like, I'm seeing stuff I have never seen at either my Target or my Walmart or any time I've ever traveled outside of my area. Like, it's pretty unheard of to see stuff like that. That big giant transformer, whatever, I can't remember his stupid name, but it's like it's like a $200+ freaking transformer. It's $60. Like, whoever saw that in the store? Was it a Hasbro exclusive? I don't know. But I mean, I see that the distribution problems that we've had the past 3 years, this is what we're getting. We're getting all that stuff that's been sitting in some freaking locker on a coast somewhere. It's starting to, those companies were losing money basically. It's like, oh, so we're going to make some money, so let's just sell it all to these discount stores and they can sell it. And Hasbro and Mattel and all, they're all still making a shitload of money because they sold it to someone else. And then those companies like Ross, all these are making more money. So I think that's what's happening. I think, as I know that we kind of touched on this on the podcast I was on, Hella Dope Toys. I say like probably by next year, this time, we probably won't see the abundance that we're seeing this year. So that's my take. And I also wanted to say something earlier. The rule of thumb, Yukon, is you never buy the figures the first month. You always wait.
Exactly. Yep.
I lost audio for a little bit, guys, so I missed some of this, but I don't think it's a sound strategy to try to get everything on clearance, because I think General said when my stuff kicked back in, you're going to miss something. I know my target for one, that one Marvel 2-pack you helped me get, T3, they had like 10 of those in my target the day before. Like when I was in there like at 8 o'clock at night, I go back the next morning at like 8:30 when they hit clearance, they're all gone. So now you're going to miss something that way. And then again, even though Hasbro and stuff may have sold this stuff to the stores, they got their money. They're seeing their product devalued. They're seeing people wanting to get a cheaper price. They're going to cut distribution. They're going to make sure their stuff stays at a certain value level eventually. They're going to push back on these discount stores. But distribution, I thought that was a lot of it. Maybe stuff getting behind, and when it hits the shelf, they have to hurry and get it off to get the next wave in because it's late hitting. But some stuff you're seeing, Brant, like you found the Super Mario movie figures in Ross already. I mean, the last wave of those Jokerized Dark Knight figures from McFarlane, they were out like 2 or 3. I think someone put that in the comments there. 2 or 3 weeks they hit clearance. So, like I said, I don't think it'll last. I think it'll get back to normal, and eventually the big guys are going to start cutting their production down to keep the value of their product higher. And
just because they sold it to these bargain stores and they made some money doesn't mean that they made the money and then they're happy with the money they made.
That's right.
They're not going to continue that. They're not going to be like, oh, we made 50 cents on each figure. Like, that's fine. Like, no, they want to make what they're, so, and I think they already are. They've already have cut down production on these figure lines.
Yeah. That's already been, I can't remember, was it last year, this year that we talked about it with James Zahn? He already said that Hasbro was going to cut their production on certain lines down to a certain amount. I don't remember going, I think this year into next year, like it's going to keep getting cut down and down and down because they want to make as much money as they can on it at full price when they're not making that much money on it when it hits clearance. So it makes sense. And the Mario stuff, I'm actually surprised to see like that toy line at Ross, and that's Wave 2, and that Wave 2 just came out maybe a few months ago, so that's pretty crazy. And that also tells me they just made too many of that freaking toy line.
Well, that's one too. You look on the shelves at Target and stuff. I mean, there's stacks and stacks of them. They're not selling. I guess there's too much. There's more. They made more than what the demand is, obviously, and they're trying, like you said, to cash in what they can make on it to get it to discount retailers.
Yep.
Now, since we're kind of on this topic, we talked about, Hasbro or these companies getting, mad because the toys are going to clearance faster and faster. Could be from supply issues. Do you think that we might see more like potential like crowdfunding for figures instead of just for like ships like HasLabs? Like, do you think that could be the future of toy collecting?
I hope not. I mean, I don't know. I've never crowdfunded anything. I did try to get. I was going to get I take that back. Giant Man, crowdfunded that, and then I was like, well, I can't do that because I can't afford it now, so I had to cancel it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to see more and more.
Giant Man?
I did, and then I had to cancel it last minute.
Oh, because it
but-
wasn't 10 inches, right? Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. God damn it. I hate you guys. Not
JJ
really.
with the zinger.
You're starting to see more and more like independent guys like us create their own lines and to sell them, which I'm totally cool with that. Like that's awesome. I don't know. I don't want to crowdfund a bunch of action figures. That's just me personally, though.
I mean, I could see him doing what like Super 7 and shit does, where you have a pre-order, you pay for them up front, and then that's what they're made to order. And like honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, at least I'd rather if they're gonna do pre-orders like that, then I'm guaranteed to get the figures I want, and whatever. I don't know.
I could definitely see him doing that. They've done that with vehicles for Star Wars that we would have seen in retail, 15 years ago, like the Razor Crest. The Razor Crest wasn't that much bigger than the Legacy Falcon. That was at retail in 2008. So as things go along and there is more problems with distribution and things going the way they are with discounts and clearance, I wouldn't be surprised for Hasbro, Mattel, all of them to start doing that. Maybe in a pack of a specific group of figures, maybe like a Hoth battle or an Endor battle or, X-Men or whatever it be. So yeah, I definitely see that happening.
Yeah, and your higher end items, I can see that as well. I mean, like that Giant Man, they don't want to mass produce that and put that on Target shelves for it to sit there, and nobody buy it. They know how much to make. They're not wasting materials. And not collecting habits saying, Hasbro's making their money when the retailers buy it. And yeah, Hasbro and all the other manufacturers are, but the retailers are losing money. So they're not going to invest a lot of money in something like that. They're going to have to sell at a discounted price. So I get the crowdfunding thing. I've never done it either. I started to with Giant Man, but like I said, I was disappointed he wasn't 10 inches, so I didn't pick him up. But like I said, I get why they do it. From a business standpoint, they're not wasting material, and they're not having something they want to sell for $200 sitting on a Ross shelf, for $30.
Zero risk.
Yeah.
Yep. And
And
again,
also that
you're going to get it. So.
That Giant Man's also, I think, the lowest was going to be the lowest production run of a HasLab they've ever done too. So that's also something to consider too. Is that it's also going to be worth a lot more money now because it's a very low print run at this point.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting if it just like skyrockets in price as soon as people start getting it, right?
Yeah.
I know it was that one. I'll be honest with you, that one I thought it wasn't gonna fun. If it wasn't for that last minute, man. Yeah, I was like, all right, well, I guess we're not getting Giant Man.
I told you guys.
but-
It's gonna surpass.
Yeah.
It always happens at the end with these crowdfunds. I mean, right now we're seeing Super 7, the Cobra Mothership, really, really low. Like I think it's 4K to back it, and they're only at 1,500, I believe.
Right.
But it's till those last days, and I think what affects it too is that the holidays are gonna hit. So, I mean, 500 for a Mothership, that's a lot. But I mean, they get it probably by the end. They'll just hit the just to break it off. But other than that, I don't think they'll get any of the other tiers. They didn't even get the early bird special.
No.
So so that's what kind of sucks. So these crowdfunds, I think they're only gonna do them just to get some money out of them and maybe keep the value of whatever that figure is. But we're not gonna see figures go into crowdfunding. I mean, they're out of their minds if they're gonna do that, especially if I mean, how many freaking Darth Vaders or Darth Mauls are you going to put at a crowdfund and people are going to buy? It's ridiculous. No. I mean, unless you put them with a vehicle like they have been doing. But, I mean, we're also seeing like the G.I. Joe Vamp coming out from not being a HasLab to retail. And, of course, I thought it was going to sell out, but it's not selling out. So, I mean, it's a win-win, but it's always going to be up and down. I mean, so... stick with the crowdfunding with big vehicles or big figures. Anything more than 10 inches, of course, you should go with, because then T3 won't buy it, but it's all right.
I think that they're just with the crowdfunding. Like I know every company's doing it now with big play sets and big Giant Men. I think they're just so close together that people just can't keep buying or crowdfunding things Like, what is the Cat's Lair happened, and then that funded, and then boom, the mothership. Like, who has
Yeah.
that kind of money to just drop like that? That's what $1,200. There's just no way.
Who's got the space for it?
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
That's what I was about to say. It's the space that you're
Yeah.
gonna have problems with. I mean, I don't know.
And I just saw a comment from I know I can't see the comments. I got to keep going back, but like he was saying that, you know, when the toys go to distribution, like Hasbro and Mattel and stuff, they've already made their money, and like yeah, but like the store, if they're not selling on the store shelves, those stores won't be ordering as much from Hasbro and Mattel, so it's still going to affect them.
But do you think that's what they would want in a way? I mean, it seems like they're gonna want to try to push away from that. I mean, ever since Toys R Us closed, you start seeing all these online stores, and I mean, to me, what I'm seeing is kind of like an example of what a mall used to be back in the 80s, 90s. A mall was big and everything, and then all of a sudden now malls are dead, and you see strip centers and all the shops going out on their own. Like Nike starting to have their own stores. If you think about it, EC, I mean. They never had their own stores. Now they're making their own stores. Skechers made their own stores. So what if it's to say that Hasbro is going to end up just selling online, get rid of the production, get rid of distributing the Walmart and Targets, and then maybe they'll just open up their own stores? I mean, that's the way some of these companies are. I'm not saying toys, but I'm just saying other examples of like the Nike, Skechers. They're going off their own route. And I mean, if you think about it, guys, you don't see a lot of Nike stuff out there anymore in other stores, because they're starting to do it in their own store. So, I mean, is that what's happening?
That could.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on from that. What was that?
No, nothing.
Oh, was it another 10-inch reference? No.
Okay. Say he wants 10 inches in his mouth or something. So
what's the true cost? Waiting or the cost of pre-order for you guys? Like what is like your guys' heel on that? Is it waiting? I already know Yukon Phil's opinion on it, and now T3's, but like, like what's the true cost? Is it risking that, not getting it and just waiting to see if you can find it in the wild, or is it worth going after it now for you guys?
I think Yukon Phil hit it in the head, honestly, because I used to be like that. I used to like pre-order, I don't know, maybe 80% of the stuff that I was, picking up at any point. But I started to notice the same trend, like he was saying, as soon as it actually got released, first of all, I didn't get it no sooner by ordering from Hasbro, right? If anything, I was getting it later. So I would see it pop up on Amazon, and then Amazon would have like a 1-day sale or something like that, and it's already cheaper, right? And it might have been just a 1 day, but they had it in stock, ready to ship, all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the plus here? What's the really, it's just appeasing your FOMO, right? It's just having the warm and fuzzies that no, I got this on lockdown, right? It's eventually it'll get to me. So I started doing less and less of that. Again, I only do it for like exclusives, or if it's a very particular item that they're putting out, then I'll pre-order it. But for the most part, run-of-the-mill figures or wide releases, and honestly, even some exclusives, I just I'll just wait. If I'm gonna buy it at retail, honestly, a lot of the times, some of the collectible stores around here, they'll get it before Hasbro ships out, and they'll mark it up $1 or $2, but I'm like, you know what, I'm okay with that. If I'm gonna pay a very similar price, might as well pay to somebody's small business, right, and help them out a little bit. So I've been very, very how do you call it, just sort of disillusioned with the pre-ordering game. Like I said, there's still a few items out there they'll be like, oh no, I have to have that, so I'm not even gonna mess around, right? But they're so few and far between. And so yeah, for me at least, it's been kind of a shift in the last like couple of years. So I will more than likely just try to find it in the wild or online at a discount, that kind of stuff, or at least like with a coupon or something like that. Just a little bit cheaper is fine. So yeah, I think I've gotten it down to maybe now 10 to 20% is what I actually pre-order of the stuff that I'm picking up.
To me,
I think it depends on where you're at. I'm sorry, you see. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say it depends, like, on what it is for me. Like, there's certain things that I see that I know I'm gonna find in my stores, and there's certain things that I pretty much know that I'm not gonna find. So the stuff I know I'm not gonna find, I just pre-order, get it out of the way, and like all my NECA stuff, I find it when I find it.
Yep.
So it really just depends on what it is. But I don't specifically wait out anything. If it's something I support, I look for it. I don't know.
Now, storage
nerd.
is the one thing that I really try to pre-order anymore. I think one of the guys in the comments said it there, Edson. I like to hunt. I mean, if you watch my channel, I like to toy hunt. I want to find this stuff. And for one thing, like Phil and the other guys are saying, I mean, you'll pre-order something, and then you'll find it in the store a month before. And my last few pre-orders I've gotten in have been beaten to shit pretty much when I've got them. And then I go find a pristine, version in the store. Or the Wonder Woman, the Flashpoint, it was $25 when you pre-ordered it. They dropped it down to $19.99 when they released it on the website. So, yeah, pre-orders, I'm not in for that anymore unless it is something exclusive that you can't find, on a store shelf.
Right.
See, again, I think that's what I was gonna say. It depends on. Honestly, to me, it just depends on everybody how they want to see it, and also depends on your geographic location, I guess, because General Kenobi, and I live in Texas, but I live in a small town where I don't get shit. Just shit. That's all we get here. That's why that's why it's called Diarrhea, Texas, not Del Rio, Diarrhea, Texas. So let me get that straight. Kenobi, which I'm not gonna say where he lives, but he lives in a way bigger city, of course. It's easier for him to find the stuff that he doesn't have to pre-order. Again, like me, I don't do the waiting game. I'll just pre-order, especially when it comes to like G.I. Joe or a Hot Toy figure. But G.I. Joe, good example. I was always buying from Hasbro Pulse. I have the premium or whatever, so I pre-order something. But sometimes I look at these other companies like Big Bad Toy Store. They had Buzzer, and they had freaking Helix, the female G.I. Joe that just the blonde one. They had them in stock already, and in Hasbro and Entertainment Earth, they're telling you, it's not gonna come out till these days. So it's kind of crazy, in the pre-order world that where I know people like to go out and toy hunt, like Man Collect says. That's awesome. I wish I can do that, but again, I don't find anything. In my case, going to the websites, and also looking at the prices, that to me is my hunt already. And I mean, I think it's just different because some people enjoy the toy hunt. Personally, me, I enjoy going and seeing and finding the figure at my doorstep or, inside the house. And I know that I already have that figure. So that's my take on that part.
I've pretty much canceled all my pre-orders between Entertainment Earth, I think Walmart, Target, Amazon. I think the only thing I have pre-ordered from Amazon right now currently is the Green Goblin and Doc Ock. That's it. Everything else I've canceled because for the most part, you can pretty much find it before it even ships to your freaking house. So there's really no point to pre-order anything when they're mass producing everything. Plus, you get into trouble like I do for pre-ordering and forget to cancel stuff, and then it ships. Shit. That happens to me a lot.
All right. So what do you guys think is the best quality toy line right now? Like when it comes to actual quality and everything, why?
Vintage. I think vintage is like a lot better quality. If you look at some of the vintage figures that were made and you compare them to some of the stuff that comes out nowadays, I really I think vintage does have it in some areas. Now there's obviously other toy lines that do a great job, but it feels like it's more hit and miss now. Hasbro obviously is not going to be in there because they're Hasbro. NECA, I think NECA's got a lot better at their quality. A lot
Yeah.
better with their QC. They've always done a phenomenal job with their paint apps and with their sculpts. I think their quality's gotten better as well. So Mattel's doing pretty good as well. But I still think that if you look at a vintage figure and you're holding your hand, you compare the plastic quality to something new. I mean, the way they did shit in the 80s is just they can't do that now, in my opinion.
I'm thinking I don't own any Mythic Legions, but I think from what I hear and see, I think Mythic Legions is probably up there in quality. From what they listen to their customers, everything is. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Mythic Legions, but I do agree NECA's gotten a lot better with their quality. I even feel it in the plastic of some of the new figures I have.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
guess when
sorry,
it comes
guys.
to modern
I'm gonna
lines, yeah.
disagree.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
go ahead.
No.
ahead.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead. Light side always wins.
I don't know about that. I'm not looking as good as you tonight. So,
Oh.
so yeah, what I was gonna say is, I do agree, NECA. It is a higher price point than Hasbro. So for me, it's kind of right there, depending on the figure. Sometimes I feel it's too expensive. Sometimes I feel you are kind of getting what you're paying, for. But yeah, I have to agree with Yukon that I find myself picking up, older stuff now more and more than the newer stuff, just because one, I've had some I have some I guess some blanks in my collection on some of the lines, and two, I'm like, dude, there's some of them are even still cheaper than what's in retail right now, and I just kind of like them more. So why wouldn't I, right? But all right, I shall concede to the Darth Maul here to bring us into the dark. So I'm ready.
Oh, you ready? All right. No, no. It depends on your vintage. I mean,
I didn't see this. Hold on one second. I didn't see this, guys. We got another super chat too, from Nerd Affiliated. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nerd Affiliated.
All right.
is it $10 or 10 inches? Tell me that.
Oh my god.
Dude, get new material, man. That was like 10 minutes
So-
ago.
Oh,
It's okay. Maybe 10 minutes ago, but it's still okay. So no, I mean vintage is all right. It just depends on what you get, because some of the, like you said, we're talking about the quality of the figure, like how they're fixing it, they're making it, correct? That what you said, Rex?
Yeah. What's the best quality toy line right now, and why? In your
Best
guys'
quality?
opinion?
Well, I'm
Or
gonna
in general.
disagree with everybody else, and I'm gonna go all Darth Brooks on your asses.
There you go.
Darth Brooks is here. You got to go with Hot Toys, baby. Hot Toys all the way. You know?
I misunderstood the question. Well, I thought we were talking
baby.
like the retail type toy lines, like
Yeah, Hot Toys.
clearly Hot Toys, but
right.
Thank you. There you go. So that's all I got to say. Hot Toys, baby.
I guess vintage wouldn't count either though, because vintage ain't a toy line right now. I mean that's past stuff. I think we had to fix our question. Oh well.
So right now, what do you guys think it is right now, other than Hot Toys, because they're in the premium league?
I want to say NECA because they've gotten better, but honestly, have you guys gotten any of the Jada Street Fighter figures? Those things are awesome. Their diecast too is top quality. I got to say, as far as there you go. But I got the first release there. I know there's a small sample of what I've got from them, but I think they're doing really good with the stuff they got, and they're not too crazy priced. But I would say for them probably number one, and then NECA number two. I've had more NECAs break on me than I have, but again, I just got a small sample of the Jada stuff.
yeah, I was going to say Jada because I mean, technically, I think this is like their second line of action figures they've done, because they did the Universal Monsters and now they've done Street Fighter, and then they have Mega Man and Chester Cheetah coming out. I think, I don't know, NECA caters to a certain type of collector. So if you're into horror or into some movie theme stuff, that's kind of where that's kind of aimed towards. I didn't collect. I think we talked about this last time. I didn't collect any NECA until Colin was talking about the NECA turtle stuff, the Universal Monster mashups, and I have all those now because Colin turned me on to them, and I was like, dude, these things are pretty damn cool. And more that I look at NECA, I'm like, I'm starting to want to buy them more and more, and like I'm wanting to buy those more than and less of the Hasbro stuff, McFarlane stuff, but the other stuff's just cheaper, so I end up going with that.
What about Super 7?
No way.
Hey, you collect Super 7, right?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I would never put them up there high on quality.
Okay, I haven't opened up mine any. So that's what
I'm still gonna stick with Mythic Legions because I think about like some of my favorite figures were sculpted by the Four Horsemen, and like from what I hear from other people and see, they're putting out some amazing shit for the price point.
I guess I would say NECA. I mean, I haven't collected Mythic Legions. I do like McFarlane's, but man, they're just tough sometimes, or they'll break on you, like Man Collect says. I mean, but other than that, I mean, I guess you can say NECA would be the best ones. I mean, especially like it depends on what the figure is. Like to me, when they had the license for Godzilla, man, those Godzilla figures were just on point. So
Yep.
That's what actually NECA. I got onto NECA. NECA. It turned on the Godzilla ones turned me on to NECA. So that's the good thing about with NECA. Not like T3. I mean, that's two things, T3, that Collins got you onto. First 10 inches and now NECA. What's wrong with you, man? What are you doing, EC? Turning this guy onto everything. First 10 inches now, or NECA, now 10 inches. For the most part, guys, I know that some of you are not understanding the 10 inches part. Only the people that are in the group chat with the TT Collects. It's nothing bad. It's just EC had snow, and I told EC bring some of that snow down to Diarrhea, Texas, and of course our buddy over here says I would love some 10 inches myself, and he's the one that caught it first. Nobody said anything. No, and I bet nobody would. Well, wait a minute. Wait, no. Okay, except for me, because I probably would have caught it, but nobody else caught it but himself. So that's why we call him the Mr. I Want 10 inches now. Okay. So if you want, you can change it to 10 inches collect.
There you go.
Yeah, right away. Man, I regret this every day now. All day long, I regret this now.
Yeah,
is that chat? I knew I fucked up right away. I'm all fuck.
I guess we can pivot into the next question. What is the best toy line size?
It just
if you go vintage, of course your Star Wars are 3.75 inch and your G.I. Joes. But I guess it just depends on my opinion, it depends on the person what they like. I know that a few people as of right now still rather have they rather pick up the 3.75 inch Star Wars figures than the 6-inch figures. But then there's people who rather have the 6-inch figures than the 3.75 inch. And also I know a lot of people didn't want to pick up McFarlane multiverses because they were an inch higher. So I just it depends on everybody, I think. I know that if if Marvel were to go 10 inches more or 4 more inches to 10 inches, of course, Mr. 10 inches over here will definitely collect all of them.
Oh, man.
If it's Marvel,
we have to get you, bro. We have to get you.
I already guess what? I already collected a 12-inch line, so screw you.
There you go.
It's one hot toy.
I mean, again, it
and
really
if you bend
depends.
it down a little bit, it'll be 10 inches.
There you go.
Like JJ said, it really
Anyway.
depends what you're into. If you're into vintage, you're going to be, coming up a little short. And if you're, oh, don't shake your head. Yeah, that wasn't a dig at you, buddy. If you're into, if you're into modern, I think if you're looking for detail, 6 inch is the way to go. If you're looking for high quality premium, then you can be like JJ and big ol' 12-inch. So really depends. I like the 6 inchers. I think that's a good size.
Yeah, Sue's interested in 12 inches. JJ is always interested in 12 inches. He likes girth too.
I guess it really depends on what kind of toy you're looking for and what you're wanting to do with it. But like I said, if you're wanting detail, bigger is better. But I wanted to say 3.75, but I've got some of those little Hasbro Epic Series X-Men and stuff like that, and their feet are so small. If you want to open them and pose them, they're hard to get to stand up. I like the 6-inch scale for the G.I. Joe Classified and then the Marvel Legends. I know McFarlane's only an inch taller, but a lot of times those are a pain in the ass to get them to stand up without having to use bases. So I think that
they don't
6-inch
stand up.
is about the best.
McFarlane sucks, dude. I mean, I don't think I've had one of these stupid figures stand up ever. I've always had to use some sort of base to get a McFarlane action figure to stand up. I don't know if it makes the feet either maybe just too small, too thin, but yeah.
Yeah, go back and look at some of my
6 inches.
sports where I've got those McFarlane figures, my little spinny base. If you knew how freaking long it took me to get them to stand up for the 10 seconds they're spinning, oh my God.
3.7-inch girth. Yep.
There you go.
So how about this? Let's turn the tables here a little bit, guys. So I only had seen one person answer that question in the chat. So what size do you prefer? I know that just fuck.
It's all right.
Damn it!
Let's just keep going with it.
Anyway, anyone in the chat, what is your preferred size? 3 3/4 inch, 6, 7, 10, 12, 24?
Well, while they're answering that, what is the most overhyped line right now? Going on right now? From Star Wars Black Series, TMNT, Mythic Legends, Street Fighter. What's overhyped right now?
Star Wars Black Series?
Oh, if that's overhyped, everybody's selling them.
No, they're not overhyped. They're just.
I think the
not good
McFarlane
quality.
would be more overhyped. I hate to say that because I do like the multiverse McFarlanes, but they are probably a little overhyped because I think he's making a little too many of them, and then sometimes just a lot of them are staying as peg warmers now. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on the figure.
Oh, nerd affiliated! You're breaking my heart, dude. No. Dude,
Transformers
no.
are
It's
hyped.
hard.
I'm gonna just say it. Marvel Legends are overhyped. They've always been overhyped.
No,
Yes, they are.
No.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Marvel Legends are not overhyped.
It's hard to answer because everybody's into their own thing.
Yep.
But I kind of agree with JJ on multiverse, because like the ones that I've bought, like I was excited for them and I got them and they were just like they weren't what they showed them as, and like I don't know. I kind of agree with everything he said. And
if you think about it, he's only doing Superman and Batman a lot. And,
right.
I mean, now the Wonder Womans and Green Lanterns are coming around, but it's like how many freaking I mean, I don't mind the different types of Batmans. I'm actually collecting Batman, Superman to do like a multiverse kind of battle one day whenever I have damn time. But I thank you for agreeing with me on that because that's what I feel.
I feel like every wave has a Batman, a Superman, a what do you call him, a Aquaman, and some Jokerized figure. I mean that's a multiverse wave right there.
What's the chat think about this? What's the chat think when it comes to like, what's overhyped in your eyes? Like, what are we seeing too much of while we're discussing this too? Because we want to hear it from everyone.
Yeah, they're saying Marvel Legends.
If you look behind me, you'll probably think I'm being a hypocrite, but McFarlane, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, there's not enough variety. I mean, the White Knight Batman figure, I mean, how many versions of that are there? I mean, all these constant repaints, and it's too much. He needs to he's trying to push quantity over quality right now. That needs to calm down a little bit. I think it's a little overhyped as far as my opinion on that.
So we have Edson saying Ninja Turtles is overhyped.
I don't think it's overhyped. I think right now they're pushing it a lot this year than being overhyped. So I wish I could agree with you, Edson, but I don't think it's overhyped. I just think it's being pushed a lot this year. I think this year is the year of Ninja Turtles. That's the way I see it. Just like how I think what was last year? What the hell was last year? There was something that everybody wanted last year. I forgot what it was. Which one?
I said 2022 was last year.
Yeah, I know, but exactly. what was it? Marvel Legends or I forgot what it was, but something was very overhyped, like a particular figure or like brand. I just can't remember the top of my head.
I don't remember. I just know Funko at one point was way overhyped, and look at it now.
Oh, Pops. There you go. I think that's what it was.
I still feel like that line's going to keep going, though. I mean, because they have so much they can just pull from when it comes to, the pops. I mean, literally pop culture to, vintage TV shows, Gone with the Wind. I mean, I've seen Seinfeld. I mean, literally there's like the sky's the limit. There's something for everyone to collect in that line. Even though I'm not a pop fan at all, I only have like one. But it's just, I feel like I just continue to see it grow. I mean, they're even shrinking down and doing smaller figures too.
So Nerd Affiliated says WWE figures a bit because they keep releasing the same figure. Okay, just like DC Multiverse, the same Batman like 500 different times, but they do keep getting new people in and Transformers. So I think he doesn't like Transformers, Yukon.
Doesn't sound like it. Unsubscribe to Nerd Affiliated.
Unsubscribe, no longer channel member. I agree with collecting Havoc. Pops are a good thing because they do get the casual collector in the door. And I think at a younger age, like when my son was collecting them, that got him into other stuff like Transformers and all the anime stuff he's freaking getting into. So they are a good thing and a bad thing. They are clogging up Ross right now. But not only that, I've been finding some crazy grails at Ross that are worth a lot of money. So now it's time to flip. That's right. You heard it here first. I'm flipping those sons of bitches. Gonna be a scalper.
I think that's like, so my daughter, she's 5 years old. She just is obsessed with Chucky. She's never seen the show, nothing like that. And I think that's where she saw Chucky for the first time, was on a pop.
Nice. That's awesome. But hey, that's what you get when, like you said, right? They have just such a wide variety that they literally got something for everybody, right? Like, you're gonna appeal to somebody's nostalgia or their current interest, or there you go. That is cool. I like that. Crow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and especially with properties that are not, how can I say, not represented in almost any other format, right? What's that? Oh, nice. With Joe. And so yeah, that's the appeal. Now, in terms of volume, I'm sure they're probably rethinking their strategy, right? I don't think they've been doing too hot lately, but yeah, in terms of a line being overhyped, I guess, yeah, McFarlane, but I do feel that it is overhyped and not. I just feel that he's one of the few like actual creators that he's still going out there and doing lives and presenting whatever new figure he's gonna try to put out and a new project and all that stuff. So I appreciate that part. Like, I like him, still being out in front of the camera and trying to get in front of the fans. I do agree it's a little bit too much sometimes, right? And like everybody here said, just the product doesn't really match up to what he's actually saying or trying to sell you. But I do appreciate, Papa Todd still pushing out there. So
I know I posted a picture of the Batman and Robin wave. So the Build-A-Figure is Mr. Freeze. And Colin said it very well in our little group chat that, or what maybe it was the Man Collects. It looks like a Titan Series figure. It just looks cheap. Why should the Build-A-Figure look cheap when the actual figures look pretty damn good?
Right.
I mean, that is the customizer's dream, is that bath. I'm telling you right now. Like, people are going to customize that to shit. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, it does look very cheap and plasticky. And I don't know, that gray reminds me of like a Marvel Legends basic sword, or I guess it's just the cheap plastic.
Just
That's what it looks
tiny,
like.
tiny molded plastic.
Yeah.
But again, that's just a picture, right?
No, that's the real figure.
That's the
No,
real
but
thing.
that's a real figure, but it was just a picture, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but more than likely, that's what it's going to look like.
I mean, more than likely. I mean, we don't know because look, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong at all. But when they did the Tiger Force Flint, and I just saw the picture, I was like, man, this piece of shit. You know, excuse my language, but that's what I was saying.
That was T3's picture of his figure.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your figure?
Yeah, he has the figure. He took a picture for
Why don't
us.
you show it? Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
I don't know. I don't
Wave
have
that
it. That is a
Wave that
picture from McFarlane. I wish I owned that. Shit, that'd be awesome. But
Oh, I
tomorrow
thought-
they go for pre-order. No, they go for pre-order tomorrow. So if you want to pre-order
Well, it
that,
was still a picture of a real figure, though, right?
yeah, it's a real figure that they have. Like that, those pictures that they showed today, those are actually from, I think, China or wherever they get made at, Taiwan or China or whatever. Those are actually in hand there. Like they already have them. They're ready to ship. But still, regardless, it looks like shit. It shouldn't look like that to me, because those Build-A-Figure figures, I guess, that come with the Build-A-Figure pieces, they're $24.99. So the Build-A-Figure should look quality, like those collector edition McFarlane's. Like those look great. I don't feel like they're worth $30, but those Build-A-Figure pieces, they should be quality, top notch. And from what everyone tells me, like most of them are not. Like the Bane one from the Dark Knight, I know Colin has that wave. Everyone that's told me that Bane sucks.
I boxed it back up and it's in a closet somewhere, dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hands
No
were coming
shelf space
off,
for you.
the legs were coming off. But I mean, I hope you're wrong on that. Like I hope the picture, like I was gonna say, I hope the figure does its justice when you have it in hand instead. Because I've always said pictures don't do justice. That's why I was saying the example with the Flint. It was a picture of the toy, and I thought it looked like shit. And when I opened them up, I was like, hey, he's actually pretty badass. You know, like I didn't expect them to be badass when I had them in hand, but I was already dogging it out. So I saw the picture on the chat, but I'm hoping that it's just a picture and it's just maybe a poor quality picture and that it does justice. I doubt it because it's McFarlane, but that it does justice, or the letter. I can't even say it anymore, but when you get it in hand.
I mean, I want a Batman and Robin movie wave. I mean, come on.
Mhm.
Who doesn't like the cheesy ass Arnold Schwarzenegger villain?
Oh, I would love one too. It's just after that Dark Knight wave, I just kind of lost. I mean, even the '89 Batman, the single release that you bought, like compared to the one in the 6-pack, the one in the 6-pack is amazing looking compared to that single. Like I don't you put different effort. Like I just don't get it. And like the thing that upsets me so much about McFarlane is like back in the day, like dude would be like that was before his he was ahead of himself. Like those figures were awesome. Those old movie maniacs and shit, dude. Like now they just don't compare.
The AVPs.
Yeah, dude, all that stuff. They were awesome. All his old horror stuff, amazing figures before their time, dude. And it's like the whole company went backwards.
Yeah. Even the sports figures from before to now, I think were a lot better, even though they didn't look like the players. But yeah, I see a big difference in them. But yeah, so overhyped, McFarlane.
All right, so I'm going to get to the last question, but in the chat, guys, ask if there's any questions you guys want us to answer when it comes to collecting, or like how 10 inches came to be. Like, go ahead and drop those questions in the chat. We will answer those.
You fucking asshole.
But the last question is, what's your guys' biggest regret? Either it could be like, I regret that I didn't buy this one figure and I just can't find it. Now it's just too priced out, or hey, I bought this figure and it was my grail and it turned out to be junk. So you could go either way with this question. Personally, for me, I'll answer this one first. I wish I would have backed the Razor Crest, but it was one of those, I was just getting into toys, like collecting, and literally totally missed it. Like, it was like last day, last 5 hours when I found out about it. And I was like, oh, I just can't. I can't sling that right now. That's one of my biggest regrets, because now seeing it, it's priced so high that I just can't do it yet. So what about for you guys?
I regret the 10-inch comment now. Like, for sure.
I had to get one more in there. I had to get
Yeah,
one.
I was gonna say. I don't know about that, because we would not have had this, this show without that one.
That's
that
true,
comment
but
just made the show. I'm just saying. So I don't regret it personally, but hey.
Like real quick, real Batman just said, killing him softly with 10 inches.
There you go. See, can make this stuff up. So I'll go next. So back when Hot Wheels was still making the smaller Star Wars ships, the ones that were like $3, $4 maybe. Not the big box ones that we find nowadays. They're like $12, $15. But the smaller ones, right? They were still die cast. They were still pretty good. Anyway, one day on a toy hunt, I found a TIE bomber, right? And I was like, oh, this is cool. I don't think I've seen this one before. Don't ask me why. I was like, wait, do I have it? Because at that point I had, maybe 20, 25 of them. I was like, I think I already have this, because they were prone to re-releasing just on different packaging quite a bit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna pick it up. And I left it there. Lo and behold, turns out that's the freaking grail of the entire line, right? I obviously, after looking at my pictures, I'm like, oh, I don't have it. I was like, let me go back for it. It's not there anymore. And then I'm like, all right, well, let me see if I can order it just online and pick it up. Anyway, point is that thing at that point, when it was still like available in stores, it was already $80, right? And then once it left stores, it went up to like $300. So I regret it so much. And of course, in retrospect, I was like, why didn't I just buy it? And if I already had it, I could have always returned it, right? I mean, again, it was like $4. Like it was honestly was nothing, right? So never saw it again. Every so often they'll pop up, on eBay and stuff. But of course, even now, like after what is it, like 5-7 years, they're still on the like $200 range. So it's kind of nuts. And again, I have no excuse. I don't know why I didn't just pick it up, and I regret that like daily. So that's mine.
Colin?
I would, well, other than like, selling certain things or skipping, like the one thing I really regret not buying was NECA did a life-size Toon Leonardo. It was like a big foam figure. I skipped out on that, and I really wish I went to, because now it's like thousands of dollars if you want it. That's probably about it, though.
What about you, Yukon?
I regret getting into lines that really didn't mean a lot to me. There's been numerous lines since I've been on YouTube that I've gotten into, and it took focus away from what I'm really into, and lost a lot of money when it came to reselling the things that didn't mean a lot to me. I also regret not paying more attention to the vintage figures, the figures I had as a kid, the figures that really have a lot of nostalgic, personal, feelings towards them and stuff. So, I would say those are the two things I regret the most.
Thanks for making us sad, by the way.
What's that?
Thanks for making us sad, Rex, with your question, by the way.
Hey, you could have went either way with it. You coulda-
Mine's a comic book, probably around, I don't know, probably 2002, 2003. A comic shop I went to, Incredible Hulk, number 180 and 181. Anybody that knows that, it's the first appearances of Wolverine. A guy had knew his comic shop went out of business. He offered me both of those books. They weren't graded. I think this might be before grading, but they probably would have been a solid 8.5 each, if not higher, for like $250. And I was stupid at the time. I didn't buy those, and I have absolutely kicked my ass every day since then. What those books are valued at now. That is mine. Number 1 and 1A are those two books.
For me, I regret collecting Black Series because then I wasted a lot of money on that, and then I turned around and sold them all and lost a lot of money on them. And then 2 would be not picking up the Avengers. I don't remember what it's called. Attack Tower from the Marvel Superheroes Toy Biz line. Had an opportunity to get it for really cheap, and I had to pass at the time. And when I went to go get it again, the price went from what I was going to get it for was $80. It went to $400 real quick. So I regret that really, really a lot.
T3, do you want to pull up some of the questions that may have been asked for us?
Yeah. So question from Jules817. Get it to go up. All 10 inches of this question here. What y'all just there it is. What's all your what's
That's
all
a
number
Midwest
one
thing.
Yeah, I got
What's
it.
y'all
It's
number one grail
not a
toy,
freaking West Coast thing. I got it. Number one, what is your number one grail toy in all of your collection if you had to pick one toy? So we'll just go with General Kenobi first.
Sure. I think I've said it before, but my vintage Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight from '83. That was my very first Star Wars figure ever. That was gifted to me, as a kid, even before I knew what Star Wars was. And then, long story short, I lost it at a construction, remodeling in my house for like 12 years. Then the house gets remodeled. They demolished that part of the house, and my figure is still there. And so it made its way back to me after all those years. So
Wow,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Wow.
JJ.
Okay, well, y'all didn't ask me about what was the other question before that one? You
JJ,
can
you
me on that
got, you
one.
got
It
no
doesn't
regrets.
matter
JJ,
anymore.
so don't lie to us. So JJ has zero
Yeah, well,
regrets. He lives his
I
life.
I'm
got-
sorry. That's my fault. That's my fault.
It's all right. It's all right. I got one regret, I guess, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess I'll just say my second regret is that I sent the 10-inch dildo to T3 now, so that's one of my big regret.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I appreciate it.
I had
thanks,
in
by the
my
way, for that.
hand. You're welcome. I had in my hand, and I bought it, the first issue of The Walking Dead. Bought it, regular price, everything, when it first came out. Was looking at it, read it, and I was like, I don't like it because it was not in color. So gave it to a friend. He read it, didn't mess with it, threw it in the trash. Now, years later, look where it's at now, the first appearance. Called him up, was like, hey, do you still have that comic book? He's like, no, I threw it in the trash. So I think that was one of the biggest regrets that I had. And it's not I wouldn't say it's a big regret because, I mean, I'm not crying for it. But yeah, it kind of hits me right in the heart a little bit. So yeah, that's one. Holy Grail, as some of y'all know or you guys know already, it's the USS Flag. I have the USS Flag still boxed. I'm still trying to get things cleaned up. Working in the medical field, you don't have time, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get to it at some point. And I got the USS Flag from a very good friend, great brother, Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. Ed Thompson. He helped me. Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. You can check him out. He has his YouTube channel. He's from Ohio, and he actually found that for me and told me if I wanted to buy it off. He shipped it for me and everything. But I also want to thank not just him, but his wife, because his wife is the one that actually said, let's help him out, because I didn't have the money till the next day. And he said, well, tell him to give you half and we'll put the other half from some bills that we were going to pay off. But because they trusted me so much that I would pay them back. They actually put in half, and then I put in the other half. They send it off, and then I send them the other half of their money that they use. So thanks to her too, because she's the one that mentioned it a lot. So to Blue Eyes, which is Rebel Reptiles Games' wife, thank you so much as well. So I just wanted to say that. So USS Flag from 85 line, I believe it is.
Ed and Blue Eyes are amazing.
What's your regret? JJ, what's your regret?
The comic book, The
He's
Walking
got,
Dead.
The Walking Dead #1.
I would regret that too. Can't believe
Not the doll toy that I sent you. That's not a big regret.
No,
That's, I'll send you one
I
later.
can't believe you just gave away that comic. God damn you.
I know. I no color. I was stupid.
You should just color it in yourself.
I know, right? No, then well, yeah, I should have.
Did we go through everybody?
My Grail.
No one cares about your Grail. God.
What? The one that's in my collection now is it's a Diamond Select Darth Maul, and the story behind that is I was going to have it signed by Ray Park, and he ended up canceling in Columbus, Ohio, because they were like selling off his signature on T-shirts, and so like literally like 5 days later, he was in Colorado Springs, and one of my best friends lives there, and I literally called him up and overnighted that figure to him, and he stood there with his wife all day to get that signed for me. Sal, if you ever watch this, I want to say thank you, because that was absolutely amazing. But that is like the top tier, one of my favorite figures in my collection. And then my big one I wish that I had that I will get is the Razor Crest one day. That's my big holy grail.
All right, next question is from William Golden. What old toy line would you like to see come back? Colin. It can't be Cowboys of Moo Mesa because that already is coming back.
Street Sharks.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say that. Yes, Vin Diesel selling the toys.
I think they're actually okay. Street Sharks is coming back, so
yeah, that's coming back too.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's all coming back.
Coming back.
Yeah. Man, I don't know.
Dino Riders.
You want us to move?
Yeah, there you go. Dino Riders.
Piggybacking off everyone's. Jesus, JJ. What about General Kenobi?
I'll take Centurions, and I know that Ramen Toys kind of did him. I actually picked them up. I wasn't too impressed, to be honest with y'all. So I kind of want to do them, do them right. So
Captain Planet.
Nerd affiliating saying Captain Planet. There you go.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Man Collects, what about you?
Secret Wars figures from the 80s, the little rubberized figures with the shield.
Oh, you son of a
reflective
bitch.
things. I think we talked about that once on Instagram there, but I would love to see those things come back.
Actually, Collecting Havoc, you were speaking, you're actually, whatever, you put in the chat what I was thinking. Mask. I like to see Mask come back.
Yeah, that's another one. Visionaries, too.
Yeah, Visionaries is cool.
When I was a kid, one of my favorite toys that I had, I went with a movie, The Warriors of Virtue. Those toys were awesome. All the figures were awesome.
What about you, Yukon?
GoBots.
That was my second one. GoBots.
GoBots. And you forgot my like I didn't make like 3 videos over my Grail, but 1984 vintage Megatron, which I own.
Megatron.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's also framed, isn't it?
It is framed. I wish I could get to it, but it is framed. Yes.
Nice.
It's framed. It's in a safe.
It's got laser sensors, armed guards. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
It's got lasers 10 inches from it. We know.
Yeah.
Sick bastards. I think, yeah, Anyone else have any other questions in chat? Feel free to put it in because we're going to end this here pretty shortly. If not, we'll let everyone plug their shit. Starting off with Millennium Falcon. That's what I was going to call you. Millennium
right.
Workshop. But if you guys have questions in the chat, one more, put it in there. If not, we're going to end this here shortly. So I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to put your question in the chat. And if you guys have anything in the panel here that want to talk about, feel free to do that.
2 minutes. You should give them 10 minutes.
I knew you were going to go that. Put it all in is what Real Batman said. You can't have a chat without Real Batman or everything's plastic with anything to do with crotches or 10 inches, apparently, now. Because Real Batman loves crotch shots, if you didn't know that already. So everyone should DM him a picture of your crotch.
No, don't do that. Everyone's gonna get arrested real fast.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be like full bare crotch. It could just be, never mind. Well, anyway, we're going to end the chat. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. We appreciate your guys' questions and being very active tonight. I'm going to let everyone plug their stuff. So Millennium Falcon Workshop, Rex Henry, go ahead and plug your shit.
Well, I'm a prop builder. I build a lot of Star Wars. I do other things other than Star Wars too. I'm working on a really awesome Predator helmet right now for Colin. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place.
Buy some shit from Millennium Workshop. He has a t-shirt too if you want to buy that. So buy that. JJ.
Well, I mean, I ain't got crap coming. Just that didn't sound right, but hopefully we can get back into the fantasy football league. Of course, T3 and Millennium and Yukon. My gentlemen over here that are team owners are a part of the collectibles football league, which I'm hoping that you guys get some wins. I know that I think Millennium Workshop and Yukon are kind of like already out. T3 it still has the chance to actually get back up there if he starts winning, but you know, he prefers to talk about 10 inches more than talk about the team. But when it comes to me, I don't really like talking about. I am in Twitter and Instagram or X, whatever the heck you call, but it's not about me. Just real quick, it's about these guys, and this is what Millennium Workshop made that I purchased off of him. It's actually the Captain Enoch.
Yeah.
So I'll wear that in the next Undisputed. So yeah, go follow our boy Millennium Workshop. Go follow Colin. To Colin, sorry that I didn't get you to go see Kane Hodder, Kane Hodder was his name. I was really shooting on those votes. I was really buying a lot of votes for you to get up there. I didn't know how it works, so hopefully next year, buddy, you join that Faces of Horror and we can get you up there again. General Kenobi, we have to meet one day. We're close by. The Man Collects. It's good to finally meet you, man. You'll see me in out of Red Face one day, and then Yuki, I'll get in touch with you one day, or sometime in Instagram. You know why? And that's my boy up there. I hope that you can actually. I have one question for you. If you can tell us all who actually won the costume contest, because I'm hearing I had a few votes up there for my contest.
I got to give it to you. It was you. I mean, it was
okay.
Good stuff. It was you, man. You're the winner. You don't get anything, but you were the winner.
That's fine. It helps my pride. That's what matters. And then winner, T3, man. My brother's always messaging me. We're always messaging and talking. And thank you so much. I will be getting. I'm working a lot, bro, but you know that I have your package up ready. I just need to get to the damn post office. That's just my problem. So
I'm good. You can keep your dildo. That's fine. I'm good.
Oh man, hey, I signed it for you, bro.
There you go.
You gotta take it.
All right. Fine.
I think he's moved on to the next size, JJ.
Oh, you want 11 now?
11.
Yeah.
Go 11.
11 inches.
You could put a little pinky type in there if you want. But no, thank you so much for having me on Undisputed again. Hope we do some more of these. I love all 6 of you guys. I know I don't get to talk to a few of y'all, but I think you guys are very awesome. I wish I can do more YouTube just like you guys, but you guys keep on pushing and don't give up on it. Don't look at your numbers. Don't look at any of that crap. Just keep pushing you guys forward to where you guys just keep doing what you're doing, because you guys are doing a phenomenal job on YouTube and the numbers are going to come to y'all. Just have fun. And that's all I see from you guys. That's all that matters. Have fun.
The man collects.
That's all I got.
I don't remember if I said a grill or not, but my favorite thing right now, I got a NECA Friday the 13th Part 7 autographed by Kane Hodder. Got to meet him. So follow up on a previous question, but to find me, Instagram, I'm on there. Anybody wants to find me and follow me. And if you want to see the best damn 10 inches on YouTube, find the man collect and subscribe to the channel there and see what's going on. But I really appreciate you guys having me on. I feel like I'm the rookie of this group. So I'm glad you guys let me come on here tonight and try to piggyback off your all's channels there to hopefully get me some more subscribers. So thank you.
God damn it. General Kenobi. God dang it.
Well, now I got to follow that up. Come on now.
Yeah.
I know. So General Kenobi's Bunker here on YouTube. Also, second channel, El Bunker del General Kenobi, where we do content in Spanish. So if you enjoy toy hunting, if you're just trying to learn Spanish, if you just want to pull a prank on your worst enemy, send it my way over there. So same thing on Instagram, TikTok, General Kenobi's Bunker. So thank you for having me, guys. It was super fun as always. And thank you to the chat. You guys were on fire tonight.
Yukon
Damn.
Phil.
The best right there.
I know, it's that sultry voice, man. I tell you, like, you can just shut off your camera and just talk. Like, you might make women cream their pants. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're going to want
Thank
your
you.
10 inches.
I was gonna say, but
Yukon.
I'll just let somebody else take it.
I'll take it for you, buddy. I'll take it.
Oh,
You
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Okay. I gotta get my shit. You guys are messing me up. You can find me on YouTube, obviously, Instagram, Facebook, and piggybacking. In all seriousness, piggybacking off what JJ said. All these guys are amazing guys. All these guys are brothers to me. Talk to most of you guys, actually all you guys, pretty regularly. And go check out every one of these gentlemen's channels. They all do great work. And some of them are a little larger than others, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, thanks for having me on the chat, guys. Appreciate it. Great times as always.
I'm not the only one in this group besides Rex that are under 1,000 subs. I think I am.
Yeah,
I'm
you
okay
are.
with that.
I'm way under 1,000 subs, bro. What's wrong with
Don't worry, we'll get you there.
10 subs or something?
Everyone go sub to JJ. Colin.
You
You
can
guys.
EC Collecting on YouTube and all social medias.
Colin, I think there's something else that you're forgetting that you need to promote.
Yeah, my oh jeez, I'm a little tired right now. No, if you have not caught anything about our school lunch fundraiser, definitely do that. Go, you find it on my Instagram, the link on my Instagram. We're gonna have some great prizes, so make sure you look into that.
When's the
Yeah, it's
last
on-
day for donating?
Ooh, last day for donating. I don't know off the top of my head.
Isn't it like
It's coming up.
11th? Isn't it like the 10th or 11th?
So Dave in the chat is saying November 18th.
There you go.
There
Thanks,
you go.
Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
So real quick, guys, for Colin, this is one of the donations for Colin's charity.
Oh,
It's
snap.
the
It's a
Mandalorian
hot
Season
toy.
2 Luke Skywalker hot toy figure.
There's gonna
So,
be a
there you
NECA
go.
box,
Not open.
Mythic Legions box, a Marvel box, and they're all. I think the cheapest box is like $100 worth of stuff. So they're amazing gift boxes, and you don't want to miss out on them. $10 to get in, and you can buy multiple multiple entries.
There's a Darth Maul box too.
Oh, and the Darth Maul. Can't forget the Darth Maul box mask. That was made by our great Rex over here.
Oh my god, that
left
is too
one out
funny.
on purpose.
Oh man. And then I guess it's my turn. You can find me here, which you guys are watching probably on everyone else's channel but mine. No, I'm just kidding. Find me here, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on X. I don't really. Never mind. I'm on Twitter. I don't never call that stupid thing X. Stupid. I'm on that. I don't ever post on there. Threads. You can find me on Threads as well. But yeah, that's where you find me. And yeah, go buy Millennium Workshop's T-shirt. Go.
Hey, don't forget your T-shirt thing.
That'll come in the next couple of days. I'll talk about that more.
No, but you have some T-shirts that you're selling that like that say T3, don't you?
No, that ended. That campaign's gone and over with. So that ended on the 5th. So yeah, please donate to the school lunch fundraiser for Colin. Go buy some T-shirts from Millennium Workshop and get some stuff made from him. Make sure that you ask him for the 10-inch discount. 10-inch discount.
It's Millennium Workshop is the promo code for 10% off. 10 inches.
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, that is it. That's tonight's Undisputed. Oh my god, this has been so much fun. It's been exciting. Appreciate everybody in the chat and you gentlemen in this panel. I look forward to talking to you guys probably tonight or tomorrow. And Man Collects, just wanted to let you know that you need to find those Cobra Viper 3-packs because I about lost my mind with those two things. So
I'm about to give up on Ross.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it tonight. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. The chat was on fire, just like General said. And Nerd Affiliated, you're welcome for letting us make you buy stuff on Macari or eBay, whatever it was. And don't blame it on the whiskey. Blame it on Yukon Phil. Anyway, have a good night.
10-incher.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Oh,
Good night,
my
y'all.
gosh.